On the back of my neck, I don't think I do. People are developing these, and it may be linked to cell phone use. Scary, but true. It's all over social media. We're going to talk about it too tonight.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Lindsay Mills.
And I'm Lee Nelson. We are glad you're with us this Friday evening. And we begin the news this evening with an update on the tension between the U.S. and Iran. Speaker of the House Nancy Pelosi was reportedly not told of President Trump's aborted plan to strike back at Iran for shooting down a U.S. drone. A spokesman for Pelosi says she was not given a heads up about the military action. Now, Pelosi is the second in line to the presidency behind Vice President Mike Pence. Mr. Trump today tweeted that the U.S. was, quote, cocked and loaded to retaliate against Iran for downing an unmanned American surveillance drone. But then he said he canceled the strike just 10 minutes before launch time after being told 150 people could die.
Also today, writer E. Jean Carroll said in a New York Magazine interview that she was raped by Donald Trump in the 1990s. We will continue to update this developing story as we learn more. Well, back here at home, one man is dead after an incident involving a street sweeper. Police got the call just before noon to respond to the Route 1 bridge construction site beneath the overpass on Main Street in Yarmouth. Police say 30-year-old Richard Mason of South Paris was driving a street sweeper that was being used for the construction site when he backed over another member of the construction team. That person has been identified as 57-year-old Paul Haley of Farmington.
The gentleman was under the vehicle, and some larger equipment had to be used to free him from that position so he could be evaluated by medical personnel.
The construction was part of a bridge replacement program through the Maine Department of Transportation and Reed & Reed Incorporated. An investigation remains underway. Maine has started to make it easier to receive coverage for transgender health services.
Yeah, Maine Public reports the State Department of Health and Human Services is removing transgender-specific health services from the list of non-covered procedures under the state's Medicaid program. Maine Transnet Executive Director Quinn Gormley says the state hasn't specified what exactly is covered yet. The department spokesperson says Maine was one of only 8 states whose Medicaid program had maintained or enforced exclusion of transition-related health care.
Well, certainly lots of puddles that were part of my story today. You'll see later on with the pups.
All right.
They were loving it, and I know my own pups were out there playing in the mud too.
I saw Lee actually rolling around in the mud. See, Lee rolls and thinks to mask his scent. I think that's what the point of it is.
Wait, is that one right there?
It doesn't work too well, but it tries. You know, we had some pretty heavy rain earlier, especially overnight last night. Now it's just been an unstable middle of the day into the afternoon. There's still some rain lingering over parts of down East Maine. It really has not stopped raining there. The rest of us have gotten a break, but there's still some showers coming through. This is really light stuff, but the sky has that look that you can tell at any minute there could be a sprinkle here and there. So that's the case for the next few hours. These are moving towards the coastline. The back edge, though, is moving through the mountains, so they're seeing a nice late afternoon. We should be able to get sunset in a lot of spots tonight, but these clouds have been stubborn. We'll see if we can lift them out of here in time. A couple of the showers again continue until around 8 o'clock. After that, it is partly cloudy to mostly clear. And then tomorrow's a good-looking day. We talked about the communication challenge about tomorrow's forecast because it's a partly cloudy day. It's a nice day. Most of us stay dry, but there are some isolated showers that pop up here in the afternoon. And so we put that in the forecast starting yesterday, and I keep it in the forecast today. Sunday still, guys, the better of the 2 weekend days, and it's probably our first day that I could think of that you might actually want to go to the beach. I'm not saying you want to go in the water.
Right.
But you might want to go look at the water from a distance.
You have to make that distinction for sure.
Yes.
Yeah, especially in Maine.
Yeah. All right, Keith, thank you very much. Talk to you again in a bit. And okay, you need to listen up, okay? Because many pregnant women apparently are not getting the proper amount of nutrients.
This is something I actually think about every day when I take that vitamin you're supposed to take.
I'm sure.
Yeah, researchers from Purdue University studied over 1,000 pregnant women, and nearly 70% take dietary supplements. The study found many did not consume enough vitamins A, C, D, E, and K, or folate. They also weren't getting enough of some of the most important minerals like iron, calcium, and zinc. And I think I'm guilty of this, but one thing most of them all had too much of: sodium.
I think we all have too much sodium.
Yeah, I wake up in the morning after eating Chinese food and my eyes are just puffy. Also, the women who took supplements were more likely to get too much iron and folic acid as well. Well, here's something that's getting a ton of buzz on social media today: how cell phone use is changing our bodies. We had fun with this one today.
Yeah, although it's a little scary, right? All that looking down at your phone may actually be causing the growth of bone spurs on our skulls, okay? Australian researchers examined hundreds of x-rays of adults, and 40% of those between 18 and 30 years old developed bony growths on the bases of their skulls. All had spent at least 4 hours a day on their phones. Now, these x-ray images show the growths on 2 adults. One was 28 years old, the other was older, 58 years old, and they range from 10 to 31 millimeters. So small, but large enough that they could be felt as a bump on the back of the head. Now, in the past, this has typically been seen in the elderly because it is linked to posture problems, but now it's being seen in younger folks as well. Wow.
Text neck, I've heard it called.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right, put my phone away for a little while. With low adoption rates, it can be challenging to find forever homes for older dogs.
Or sometimes an owner falls ill or passes away, leaving behind their four-legged friend. That's where a North Yarmouth woman is stepping in to help, creating a retirement home for dogs.
For me, I just love animals.
Lori Dorr always wanted to have more animals.
That's where my heart is.
She has Toby.
He's a Siberian Husky.
Sierra.
Yeah, you know we're talking about you.
And now,
You want to come off the leash?
Jules.
Let's see. There you go. What are you going to do? We have a little land here. We have a house. We have a couple of senior dogs ourselves, and was talking with a friend and thought, you know, I'm going to do it. I'm going to go ahead and start bringing them in and adopting them.
Jules was the first official rescue for Dorr's nonprofit, Finally Home Senior Dog Rescue and Retirement Home. She doesn't know much about her story other than she came from Mississippi and she's roughly 11 years old.
It's taken about 3 or 4 months for her to kind of feel comfortable. And I mean, even to do this, roll around on the ground, you know, she's only started doing this the last couple of weeks.
Dorr hopes to eventually welcome as many as 15 dogs that need a place to call home and due to their old age require a lot of care.
Just like all of us, the older we get, maybe we're not so quick. Go get it.
She's started fundraising efforts, but right now she's paying for everything from food to vet bills.
Good boy. Come here. Come here. Drop it. Drop it. That a boy.
With an open space and heart, she's ready to provide a place for pets to enjoy their final years.
Sometimes there just seems like so many causes out there, but if you just pick 1 or 2 and just do what you can, that's great. So medical bills can certainly be something to consider when rescuing an older dog. And ahead on News Center Now, we're actually going to find out more about a financial option for when you do have pet emergencies.
Yes,
It's becoming more common, this type of loan.
Well, we're spending more on our pets.
Yeah, we certainly are.
Yeah, as a matter of fact, I saw the numbers and it was shocking.
It's a little shocking. All right, later on now, Maine is looking up to a lot of states when it comes to internet speed. We'll explain that.
And coming up, a new take on lacrosse. Chris Costa is going to introduce us to box lacrosse, and we're going to meet Maine's new team.
Sweet.
Right now we have a guest.
Awesome. Hey, Facebook, happy Friday. Happy Friday, happy Friday. All righty. John, thanks for being here.
Are we over there?
We are.
And we actually have this side.
I'm going to bring both of these things.
Make sure you actually read the teas to me, otherwise my board will make 0 sense.
Okay,
You got
thank
it.
you.
Stick
Good.
to the script. Guys, it's scary when Keith tells us to stick to the script.
Very rare that I'd say that.
Oh my God, is it the reference to that song again?
But you guys keep setting it up. I keep knocking it.
Keith! He's referencing a song in his whiteboard that he loves. I feel great. Well, today actually I'm so tired. And I caught that second trimester energy again. But today, like, I couldn't get up. I was late for work. I came in with my hair wet, no makeup. It's just like one of those days. I walk in, Bill Green's like, it looks like you're wearing a pillowcase. I'm like, I am. I pretty much am. Oh, but it's all good. Very blessed.
Yep.
So, yeah, we're excited. Our kid's going to be a Mainer.
That's great.
I'm coming.
So really, the average annual cost to care for a pet is between $800 and $1,500. That's a lot.
That is
And then you multiply that with multiple pets.
yeah. I mean, we have a cat.
All right,
and a
I'm-
dog.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, just,
Right.
You don't expect it, but I mean, pet ownership is high in Maine.
It is.
And it can be very expensive.
Can we get into this without prompter? Is that what you're asking us?
Yeah, on the handheld.
No, let's use the prompter. Because Lindsay has specific numbers and stuff.
Yeah.
Let's use the prompter. Okay.
Sweet, sweet. Thank you. That way I can run it for closed captioning too. Yeah, so we have, do you guys have pet insurance for Maddie?
Doubt it.
No. We took out pet insurance only because Tito was missing the leg.
Yep.
And then Lucy.
But
had-
he later found it though, right? Which,
Yeah, exactly. Now that would be something. And Lucy ate part of a chain link fence before we rescued her. So we're like, we have like medically challenged dogs. Let's just cover our bases. And it's only like $20 a month or something.
I don't think we have it.
But we don't have it. We don't have it.
But I don't think it covers too much.
No, it doesn't.
All right, we're back. You know, the popularity of pet ownership in Maine continues to rise. The American Veterinary Medical Association says the rate is at 70%.
They say the average annual cost to care for a pet is between $800 and $1,500, and then obviously multiply that if you have more than one pet. That number can be a lot higher as well. So John Paradise from Town & Country Financial Credit Union is here to talk to us today about some ways that we can maybe pay for these medical emergencies in our pets if a problem comes up and we're not ready.
Yeah, and you know, it happens more often than you think, Lindsay and Lee. It's you know, I mean, I look at my own experiences. We had an emergency on Christmas Eve with our dog and had to take the dog to the emergency clinic, and that was certainly an unexpected expense of several $100s. So what Town & Country Federal Credit Union has done is looked at the popularity of pets, cats and dogs in the state, and we've come up with a new pet loan. And what the pet loan will do is help people cover those unexpected expenses, those emergencies, surgeries, the cost of medicine that goes along with a lot of pets, and even for the adoption of pets.
Is there something that it won't? I mean, what is it specifically emergencies and adoptions, or is it?
No, it will cover pet expenses, and
Interesting.
you know, we're open to the fact that you know, it's not one size fits all for loans, especially when it comes to pet loans. So we're being very flexible on it. We're excited about it. The feedback we've gotten from members has been very exciting.
has.
From the Animal Refuge League of Greater Portland, we look forward to working with them to help cover costs of adoption fees and things like that. When you get into it, you can really add up. You know, when you said it, $800 to $1,500 is the annual expense.
Is a lot.
You
We
don't
don't
think
spend
about
that much.
It's a lot. You know, I mean,
Yeah.
again,
But again, it could be an emergency.
it could be emergency. I look at, you know, we spent just $300 last week to cover the year for, you know, heart medicine and
Or vaccines
Exactly.
and what have you. I do have a question out of my own curiosity. What's the difference between taking out a loan for something like this or using a credit card, or maybe opening up a new credit card?
Well, some of it's semantical. You know,
Yeah.
we have a special rate when it comes to the pet loan, and it's you know, it's relatively short term. You know, credit card, there can be advantages to using that, but what we want is people to not be hamstrung by the fact that they have to have a loan or they have to have extra financing for their pet. And you know, let's face it, pets are part of the family, and you know, you wouldn't think twice about taking your child or yourself to the emergency
Right.
room. We really probably don't think about taking our pet to the emergency room, and we also don't think about the finances that go along with it. So we're really excited to help you know, add to that special family member by having a special loan for it.
Not surprised the feedback has been positive either. Pet stories.
People love pets.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you so much
Thanks
once
for having
again
me.
for being here. Hey, we got to take a quick break, but coming up, we're going to go to the world of box lacrosse, see what it's all about.
And you can't put Keith in a box. We'll take a look at his full forecast coming up this weekend. Oh, John, thanks so much.
Thank you.
So much. We appreciate it. Always very helpful and informative. No, that was awesome.
We're gonna be at the newsroom.
Okay.
Awesome.
I hope you continue to feel
Yes,
well.
thank you. Sarah, where do you want John to leave his mic?
All right, I'm taking this off.
On the tables, okay? Okay, awesome. Thank you so
Driving me
much.
freaking crazy. Take care. Have a good one. I just took the case off of this because it's driving me crazy.
Oh, I think we're at the monitors again.
No, we're in the newsroom somewhere.
We're in the newsroom. Oh my God. I'm like 3 steps behind everything today.
Oh, I have a very tough part of this intro. I think I can handle this without.
High school sports
think I
season
should be
is
good.
over, but there's a new professional sports team playing in Maine this summer. Okay. Coco, I'm so excited to see this.
Oh, thanks. I hope it's as exciting as I picked it up to be.
Uh,
Ready?
Okay, thank you. And I'll have you slide over a little bit.
slide. New kicks?
No, but they are one of my favorites.
They look
Did your IFB plug in?
new.
They're trying to talk to you.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Speaking of sports, it came up last night
Actually,
at practice.
Can I have you guys come over a little more? I want
Yeah.
to try to block this empty desk with
Sure.
the other full desk.
Sure.
Sure. The baby on board came up at practice last night, and the girls were very excited.
They
wanted-
hadn't heard yet?
No, and I wear a lot of baggy stuff.
I was
like,
gonna say, how could they?
So it's kind of easy.
kind of obvious now.
It's obvious now. I got a bigger T-shirt. I was wearing sweatshirts, that sort of thing. And then one of them asked yesterday. I bet they had all been wondering, but they asked, and I confirmed. And they were so cute. They were like, "What's the name? Can we name him?" One of the girls was like, "I know a boy who played field hockey." They were so cute. Oh.
You're naming him Zdeno.
Yes, could you imagine? Oh.
Sell naming rights.
Yes, sell naming rights, exactly.
I was thinking of bribing them, saying if you guys win this weekend, you can name them.
Wait, I want in on that.
Yeah, right? Ah.
10.
All right.
Stand by.
Well, the high school seasons are now over, but when it comes to lacrosse, things are just getting started for Maine's newest professional team, and the first game is this weekend.
Yeah, box lacrosse. Chris Costas here to tell us more about it. This looks really cool, Chris.
Lee and Lindsay, it's really intense, and lacrosse, as we know, is one of the fastest growing sports in the country. Now, while that growth has flattened out in recent years, a new professional team in Maine is promoting the game, but it's a version you may not have heard of before.
The fastest game on 2 feet is trading in turf for concrete, cleats for sneakers.
Check.
There's legitimately 2 versions of this game. They have no idea that we play in a hockey rink.
But there's no ice, no
They
skates,
have no idea that we have small goals and big goalies.
but gloves, helmets, and big hits.
Fight that.
Check.
Hey, are you a hockey fan? Are you a football fan? Are you a basketball fan? Do you like fast-paced play? You will love box lacrosse.
Box lacrosse is nothing new. It's Canada's national summer sport. Now it's in our state for the first time. Leading the way are the Maine Northmen. Kyle Baker is a righty forward. He's also the team's owner and general manager.
It's been a dream of mine to bring box lacrosse to my local community for years.
So the Kennebunk native hand-picked and recruited the players. 20 of the 38 are originally from Maine. Some have never played box lacrosse before. Others, like Mark White, have played at the highest level.
Short story is my parents couldn't afford to put me in hockey, so when I was 3 years old, my parents didn't know what to do with me, so they put me in box lacrosse, and fast forward to today, I think it was worth it.
White hails from Ontario and suited up for the Toronto Rock in the National Lacrosse League in 2014.
get chills. It's loud. You know, for that split second, you kind of take it all in, and then, you know, once that first whistle goes, it's game time, and you kind of zone all that stuff out.
That's the atmosphere the Northmen are hoping for on Sunday night inside the Biddeford Ice Arena when they host their first home game.
But I think we're getting to the point now where we're ready to play somebody else.
It's also a chance to expose Maine's young players to a style of the game that these guys say made them play even better.
When they have that box skill set, you know, foundation, they're already a high-level field player.
That's because the goals are smaller, the goalie's pads are bigger, and the pace of play is faster.
And my biggest passion is growing the game of lacrosse in both versions, but specifically now, this opportunity bringing the better, my favorite version to Southern Maine, because once you see it, you'll be hooked.
So the Northmen play their first home game Sunday night at 6 o'clock at the Biddeford Ice Arena. If you head to this story on our website or mobile app, you can find the link to buy tickets to the game. It's cheaper than $10 per person, even cheaper for kids. And Lee and Lindsay in hockey, they have the ceremonial puck drop, right? Well, Senator Angus King is going to place the ball for the ceremonial face-off on Sunday night.
Oh, cool. And then get the heck out of the way.
Exactly. It's intense in there. I mean, they're flying around. It's really, really fast.
And the
very
pads on the
physical.
goaltenders are huge.
I know.
Enormous. I don't know how these guys are able to score because the goal is only 4 feet by 4'6", and those guys take up so much room.
That's
It's crazy.
exactly what I was thinking. But I love any way to grow the game.
Yes.
I mean, this is really cool.
Really interesting.
And it's cool for parents too, because the kids have been really learning this as they develop their field game too. So it can be a year-round sport.
Awesome. Looks like fun. Thank you very much.
And weather doesn't really need to be an issue at
No,
all for
no,
this lacrosse
no.
league because they're inside.
You know,
it's one of the benefits.
The goalie thing, when I was a kid, I used to watch hockey and I said to my dad, why don't they just get a really fat goalie? Like the fattest they can find and just stuff the net.
Right.
You know?
And that,
Yeah.
right, like he's just said, like the walrus in that.
Yeah, and
Geico
the answer is, why hasn't happened yet? I don't know. I mean, how big is a hockey net? I feel like you could fill the vast majority of it with a person plus equipment.
Maybe. You can take that up with the NHL after
I don't
the
know.
show.
Yeah. Are there any rules on that?
The NHL's now
The
like,
goalie
don't
can only
at
be
me, Keith.
so wide or something. All right, here's a look at the radar out there. We've had rain all day over down East Maine. Most of us have cleared out at least at times, but it's still been unstable, and the atmosphere is still producing a couple of showers that are racing down from the north. They're tending to dry up before they get to the coastline, but sprinkles still a possibility for the next hour or two, even along the coastline as these kind of move through. And you can see the back edge of the clearing is trying to get into the coast, into Bangor. It's just been a really slow process, but it should happen for most of us before the sun sets. And that makes sense as today is the latest sunset of the year. So we're giving us a little extra time in that way. Current temperatures, pretty much room temperature, I guess, upper 60s, 73 in Freiburg and 69 in Concord. All right, so there's the sprinkles, there's the back edge of the clearing getting through just in time for sunset for the vast majority of the state's population. Tomorrow's still partly cloudy, and there's still a chance of a sprinkle. I wanted to be able to not have that in the forecast, but there's just enough of them that I think we have to have it. It's that 10-15% chance, if that, of a shower, but that's still a chance. And then Sunday, there's no chance. Looks beautiful, right around 80 degrees. And what I really like about Sunday is that it will be an offshore flow. And so that makes it a better beach day if you're thinking about the beach, because we won't have the wind off the water, which is a real killer. Regardless of the time of the year. And then Monday looks good as well. If you've got an extra day to burn, that would be a good one. Mid-70s and mostly sunny. Where is the real heat, though? The answer is I don't know. It's just not really happening. We just keep playing right between the lines here, and it's conceivable that we're going to get into July with no real heat. Now, we're not below average. The temperatures are on average, but we're just not doing it with any heat in between, which is really interesting. So this is this is of course coinciding with me spending a lot of money for a heating and air conditioning system, which the argument is made sometimes in Maine. You don't need cooling. Last year summer you felt like an idiot for making that statement.
Right.
So far this year,
it's early yet though.
Yeah. Oh sure. I mean we'll definitely have hot days. There's no question. And sometimes, much like we started out with a big winter, and it doesn't mean it's going to be a big winter. Same thing can happen with heat. We could get into a pattern in July that we just toast through and we'll never remember this. It's not terrible anyways. It's just interesting that we can't get any real heat in here.
All right. Well, we'll just keep
we'll
trying.
live with it. Yeah.
Thank
It's
you.
comfortable.
Thank you, Keith, very much. Hey, 5G internet could soon become the standard all across the country. Right now, internet in the U.S. is not all the same, and researchers at highspeedinternet.com found the states with the best and the worst internet connections.
And this probably won't surprise you. Maine was in the bottom 5 with a speed of 26 megabits per second. Alaska was the slowest with a speed of 17 megabits per second. Mississippi and Idaho round out the bottom 3. Maryland, New Jersey, and Delaware are the top finishers. Maryland's internet speed is over 65 megabits per second.
So that was like just about twice the speed of Maine's.
Yeah, it's a little insane when you think about it like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, let's talk to Cindy, see what's coming up at 5:30. Howdy.
It is mosquito season, if you haven't
Sure
noticed
is.
yet. And yeah, are they bad near your house?
They were bad where I was today. Yeah.
Such a bummer. There are some things that you can do. Some of them we know about, some of them we don't. We're going to talk with the guy in the state who's all about getting rid of mosquitoes, and he'll tell us really what it takes for the mosquito population to finally wane. And 8,000 people are expected at the Maine Whoopie Pie Festival this weekend in Dover, Foxcroft. We're going to take you there for a little preview of what you can expect. And yeah, sweet goodness. Sweet
Wowza.
goodness.
That's
I
a
know
lot
that
of
does
whoopie
look
pie.
Yeah, there's a whoopie pie eating contest tonight,
At the
right?
Sea Dogs game
Absolutely.
this evening, right.
It's a lot of, talk about a sugar rush.
Sugar.
We're talking about it actually when we come back.
All right, hopefully my IFB is about to improve as I go closer to the IFB machine.
Well, we'll just probably need to try battery if that's okay.
Yeah, do you have one up here?
Coco, we have our Facebook family that's asking how you're doing and what happened.
Oh, I'm doing fine. I'm doing
Coco's doing well. He's okay.
I'm coming over.
Basically, were you playing or were you coaching?
No, I was playing. So I play a recreational league with some buddies on a Tuesday night.
Mhm.
And I haven't made it there as often as I like. I get there a couple of times every couple of months.
Yeah.
But it's just fun to get out there and throw the pads on and play again. But just fractured ankle. 3 guys going for the same ball. That's what happens. So I'm good. Just you don't see me out shooting as many
No.
stories lately. I'm stuck behind the desk for now.
He's a house cat.
Yeah, exactly.
Meow.
So I'm not social
No.
anymore. Goodbye.
It's okay. Aw.
Well, thanks, guys. Thanks
It's a
for checking in. I
bummer.
appreciate it.
I'm just gonna leave this. We don't need that. Look at this. This feels like yesterday.
It does. Oh yeah, finally. You gotta get like what's his name? Who's the guy who used to block shots and do this?
Oh, the Kempe Mutombo.
Thank you. Yeah.
No.
Okay.
Slugger, do 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 do
I told him
do
it
do.
wouldn't, so I hope I'm right.
I know. Yeah, well,
It's looking good. Either way, they'll definitely be fine.
I think so too. Da, 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 da. I just love that Slugger wears costumes because he is.
Don't break the fourth wall. He is what? He's a slugger.
He's awesome.
You're saying it's like a juxtaposition of a costume on a costume?
Yeah. Like when he did Baby Shark the other day.
Wish you wouldn't ruin it for everyone.
All right, today's the temporary name change for the Portland Sea Dogs, the Maine Whoopie Pies. Feels like just yesterday Slugger was helping you do the
Merchandise
weather.
is great. Also, I got a threat on Twitter this morning, which is nice. I get a lot of threats on Twitter. Most of the people, though, aren't as friendly as Slugger, so
Yeah.
it'll work out. The
He'll
game
take
starts at 7 if you're into it. Today's Brain Drops. Today is the first day of summer, right? It's the summer solstice. Do you know what that means?
I know it has something to do with how the Earth moves around the sun.
Okay, no, that's good. You're halfway there.
Okay.
So the basic premise here is that the Earth's axis is tilted, right,
Yeah.
in its orbit around the sun. And so the solstice is when it begins to be summer for the northern hemisphere and it's winter for the southern hemisphere. Do you think you could pick out summer for the northern hemisphere on this?
Okay.
On these, these are
summer
these
for
are the seasons.
northern hemisphere. Aren't we closer to the sun in the winter time?
I'm not giving you any answers whatsoever.
Okay, I'm gonna say.
To keep this.
I don't know. I really don't know. I'm gonna say this.
Okay, it's this one.
Okay.
And the reason is the opposite of what you said, which is we're tilted closer to the sun in the northern hemisphere at that time, and then this would be the southern hemisphere's summer because of the axis tilt. We're closer. It's amazing, given our distance from the sun, right? That little angle, it's 23 something degrees is the tilt angle. That matters. But think of this. You ever been at the beach or something?
Yes.
And you tilt like one way or the other and you get a burn on one side, not the other?
Yes.
That's all it takes. It's the same kind of angle.
It.
But that is summer and this is their summer.
Okay. They're very good.
I wish I could animate it, but I don't
We
know.
do have to wear sunscreen though year round.
We do, correct. It's strong regardless, and that's something we've thought more about over time. But also, these are your equinoxes. So your fall and spring equinox, which is when the center of the sun is over the center line of the equator on a plane.
Because I remember you said not too long ago, remember the angle of the sun right now is the same position as it is in what, like late August or something? That was in April or March or something?
Yes, in April. Yep.
Yeah, so.
So you should remember that.
I do. I remember
I'm sorry that I quiz you randomly. Nobody else does this to like, usually you pre-plan a quiz in this situation.
No, but I gave it my best shot, okay? And those who were guessing with me, thank you.
Thanks for trying.
All right.
Do we have another show or they're not ready?
I think so. I think they're ready. New Center Maine at 5:30 starts now.
We can start another show if you want. I don't know.
New Center Maine at 5:30 starts now.
It's okay, just go.
Okay. And
the open went in, but it's not queuing.
Oh no.